heard, my company is Crystal Edge Technology Screens. It's early in the morning, but usually when I'm setting up for demonstrations, this is what time I have to be up. I got to be up really early. So we're doing a projector swap out. I took my NEC upstairs. I'm trying to find another one of these projectors. These projectors, man, if you're lucky to get them, if you get them, you get them. You don't, you don't. So they're kind of interesting. I got to do a mapping to see how big of this surface we have over here. So I got to stretch it around the wall so we can see how big of a surface we're going to have. And I need to do a demonstration on this, which I haven't done yet. This right here is the screen we painted and we coated with our formula, and I never got a chance to finish this. And I got to come in here and put some plaster on these walls. Not plaster, but you know what I mean, hole fillers and all that stuff. So one of the things I don't think I remember explaining, that when you're doing ceiling projection, and we had a few people come in this week that bought the paint for ceiling projection. So I'm going to have to fill you in some more information on this, on doing this. When you're setting up for your ceiling projections, you want to make sure that you definitely have to be laying on the floor when you do it. You have to be laying on the floor. That's a definite must, because it's the only way you're going to be able to see the ceiling properly and adjust keystone. Keystone is one of the things you're going to definitely have to be able to adjust when you're doing ceiling projection. So now that's a ceiling projection. For those of you, we've been doing this for quite some time. We got videos that go all the way back for a couple of years back of us showing off the ceiling projection. I love this stand. God shows you how to build, like I said, amazing things. I love this stand. Let me show you the stand real quick. This is a stand made from parts in the shop. That's actually from an old, that's not actually from one of the stands for the photo background. This is actually the pipe area that connects. So I went outside and sawed this piece off and sanded it down and connected this for adapter for something else I may want to attach to it. And this is the stand that has the neck, has a bendable neck attached to it, which will allow me to turn the camera this way or this way, especially if I'm on Facebook doing some demonstrations. But I was going to go on, my old stand broke, and I paid about 40 bucks for that one. That one's pretty nice because it came with a remote control app. Let me show you the remote control. So that stand came with this little remote control. So this little remote control has an app in it which allowed me to link it to the phone. Even though I don't have the stand, this will make a difference. It's a remote control that has a little app in it. So this little remote control here, I can sit back and I can take pictures and record and operate my phone remote control, which I need to have this on my keychain. All right, so let's get this started for the ceiling, because now I can expand my ceiling size. As I said, I'm trying to get the same projector. The best projectors for doing the ceiling, I feel, are the NESs, because, you know, NES short throws, they give you much, what's the NES, right? NEC, sorry, NES, funny. NEC projectors, they give you much bigger screen size. The BenQ I have on the floor is nice, but the screen size, they're both short though, but the screen size on the NEC is much bigger. And the NEC, those particular projectors are a little bit pricey. $800, $900. And I don't spend a lot of money for projectors anyway. You know, so $800, $900 for me is a lot of money. All right, let me see. So I have to lay down and adjust this. And it helps to have the lights out when we're doing this. Let me put the lights back on. All right, let me see. Where is the remote control? We just had the remote control gone. I got her to respond right today. I was trying to get her to, I think she needs batteries. There we go. Blue screen. the volume up on the phone. I need the volume up on the computer response, but volume's up. Let me see. Oh, it's the fun part. Volume's not up. Alexis, blue screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
I use the blue screen because it makes it easier for me to measure exactly how big I gotta put the screen in. So I need to be, actually I need to be making this way. Put this in, let me see, I need to go to menu, and I need to go to my aspect ratio, looks like 4.3. I have to adjust over. I'm gonna go down. Alright, before I go down that road, let me see what my zoom is in. Zoom is not all the way up. So let me see where my zoom is. Alright, that's as big as we're gonna get the screen. Literally. That's not too bad, it's actually bigger than the other one, but I got a feeling I'm actually in 4.3. So when you go back up, I think we're at 4.3. Go back halfway. Okay, the ceiling upstairs, we're using for some upstairs, we're definitely in 4.3 for the ceiling upstairs. Let me see. Just aspiration for the block, it's going to be quick sequence. I'm going to find in the print, but at least I want to have to move this over a little bit because I can't see an aspect ratio from here because, alright, that's 15. That's 1610. 1610 is the biggest one we've been having. That's perfect, that's 1610. Alright, let me adjust the keystone. Definitely wrong way. No, we're definitely off on the keystone. That should be it, hopefully. Alexis. Snowflakes 3D screensaver.
Getting that from YouTube.
I need this piece. Shoot, to move it a little bit more. Heck. Let me see. No, we're definitely gonna need that piece in there. That's gonna put the adjustment from the ceiling. Okay. That has to be there. So I'm definitely gonna need that. Alright, I think I gotta adjust it a little bit more. Yeah, it's playing Christmas music. And I'm all Christmas music anyway. Alright, let me see. Liquid water screensaver.
Getting that from YouTube.
Oh, where are you? Let's see what we got. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I got a much bigger screen size. Much bigger. Because then you see it's a much bigger one. Like that. Liquid screensaver water.
Getting that from YouTube.
Well, that's crazy. I like that one. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Let me adjust my lights. Lights are way too bright. A lot of work, people. Because you want the lights to be settled. You don't want to be super bright, especially in the ceiling. The floor, on the other hand, don't care. But as for the ceiling, you want the ceiling to be settled, especially if you're doing this universe. All right, cool. So that's one projector down, and now I have to go in and I want to put up the surface so I can see how big we're going to put the screen in. Let me grab some clamps. Again, for those of you who've made the comment, why paint your ceiling? Because again, optic fiber lighting costs a lot of money to install in. And again, you're going to be staring at the same thing every day. Now, I'm not knocking people who do it. I'm not, but literally going to be staring at the same thing every day. If I want, I can change my ceiling out to an ocean if I want. I do like this much bigger screen size. So I was looking at it because I was thinking that the NEC, the BenQ, produces a smaller picture size than this, where the NEC would be perfect down here because I get a bigger size downstairs, so I swapped them out. This is better down here because it produces a bigger screen. The BenQ is better upstairs because it produces a smaller screen. And that would be perfect for the setup in here. So, of course it's going to react to the lights. See, that's the beautiful thing. You should be able to change your projectors at will. That's why I'm glad we're not stuck to one projector. That's why I said, worst thing you want to do is deal with a product that you're stuck to one projector because they can't swap them out in the environment because they need those projectors to make the screen look good. We can swap our projectors out throughout the entire house at will because the screens do all the work. And that's why some people are just stuck. They're handicapped to these projectors. They have no choice. Remember, 1 year swap out. Anybody wants to sit there and argue that and say, oh, that's not true? 1 year swap out challenge we put out there to show that people have to depend on these high-end projectors to make their screens look good, where we don't have to do that. If I want to swap out for the NEC, none of the projectors are calibrated. We swap them out. Where yeah, people have high-end projectors have to depend on those projectors because again, either they got to upgrade to something higher, but they can't go below that, and if they try to go below that, it's going to be for a short period. That's why we put in the 1 year. The 1 year means they'll have to go for 1 year to use that projector and that projector only. Can't do it. They have to depend on the projector. So they can't come here and do swap outs like we do. If I want to change out a projector, I swap my machine out, get another one because the screen does all the work. I can go on eBay and have that comfort or Amazon and buy what I want because the screen's going to do the work. Not going and look at a ton of specifications on contrast and color and all this other nonsense because you got to get the best projector you can because your screen is lacking at the end of the day. There you go. That's the beautiful thing about our technology. Now I got to go on the form site today because every time we do one of these, we go into the form site. I have a form site strictly for ceilings. That's why I love this form we're on. Strictly for ceilings. And we went in there a couple of times and the guy was like, why is your ceiling black? I said, because we project off of it. We use it for different visual effects display. And they're in there with like $20,000 optic ceilings and all this crazy stuff. People got to come in and rip up the ceiling and put all these lights in and everything. And then at the end of the day, I mean, not knocking it, but you got to look at the same thing every day. Every single day, you got to look at the same thing. Well, us, change it out to whatever I want. And you don't need an expensive projector to do it. When we're doing these demonstrations, a few of the forum sites that we're using really expensive projectors and all kinds of crazy programs. I said, no, Amazon Fire Stick and a $140 projector. The technology does all the work. And you're spending, what, $20,000 at somebody coming to rip their ceiling up to put in lighting that you're going to see the same thing day after day after day. Yeah, if I want to put the universe in, I can literally put the universe in and I can make it move. I can even put in one of the 3D applications with my remote control and I can move it around, 360 scroll. Can't do that. You're stuck to the same thing every day. You go ahead and have your whopping $10,000, $20,000 ceiling, and I'll sit up here. It costs me to put my ceiling in. I use about 32 ounces to paint my ceiling in. So right now with the sale and all, it's around like $200, something like that, $200, and then the projector, 140 bucks. Yeah. Now, again, like I said before, those of you who have gray screen paint products, you can't relate to this technology. I don't expect for you to relate to it. Sorry about that, kicking my stand here. I don't expect for you. Those, we know you are. We know who you are. But those who support that gray screen paint knowledge, gray screen paint products, you don't relate to us. When you come in here, some of y'all are learning, but you don't relate to us when it comes to this technology. You don't. This technology is designed to work at the end of the day. It does the work. Projector at the end of the day, like I said, we can swap our machines out at will. You're used to being stuck in the dark, calibrated projectors, contrast levels don't pull up, color doesn't pull up, faded, washed out images. Even if you calibrate, you're in the dark, your image is still washed out. Doesn't really make a difference. It's an outdated product. So that's what you're used to. When we designed the LT gunmetal, we'll show you the difference between what that technology does compared to any other gray screen. And I challenge any person who's developing a gray screen, anybody, to match the demonstration under an LT gunmetal. And we start off with those things first. Dark gunmetal certified screens. Lights on in a maxed out environment, not in the dark. Not in the dark with two sample sheets trying to pull off an OLED horse in a fully lit maxed out environment. That's how we do those tests. Not supposed to do them that way. All right, let's get this started over here. So since that's done, let me see, I still got to do my swap out for upstairs. And upstairs doesn't have padding on the floor. I'm literally now thinking about padding my floor upstairs with this display right here. I like this floor display. So it's comfortable. Oh man, it's so comfortable to walk across. I did this a long time ago. Okay, so let me see. We need to, let me see something real quick. Don't get the remote controls mixed up down here. We just figured out what this one went to. Sit over here, sitting on the couch. This is not the good benefits of having black furniture in the house. Alexa, Starfield screensaver.
Getting that from YouTube.
So make sure to put this up. We don't want to lose this. Down here. All right, set them down here with the drill. We got to swap the projector from upstairs, and it has to be done. So my schedule for today right now, because this is what I'm doing early in the morning, I'm getting prepped for demonstrations for today. We had to drop the surface over here so we can map it out to see how big a screen we're going to put in on this side, because I got to start building that. We have to go upstairs to the dedicated theater room. I have to put the brackets in under the frame so we can attach that so you can figure out how 135 inch. We got to build a stage. So we're finishing off some of the stage today. Got to put the bottom piece off so we can put the platform for the stage and start working on it next. And we got to do the swap out for the gaming room. So that's what we have to do next. I keep getting these remote controls. Nice. I don't want to do that one.
Was delivered with Uber Eats. Does that mean I can eat it? It could.
Where's my service go to? That's beautiful. Perfect. This will give me an idea on how big this surface screen is going to go in. It's going to have to be big. Well, if I don't have to build a frame for it and I can drape it, that'd be so much better, so much easier too. So I want to see if I can drape this bad boy. Be about right there. Yeah. Pretty much there. All right. Oh, we got a plant there. Oh, that's just peachy. Let's break something. All right. Here's an idea. What I need to work with. All right, so that gives me an idea on how big I have to make the screen and what I'm going to be working with. So I was doing a demonstration. We had the screen mapped out like this. And again, I love when people are stuck in old traditions. And they go, so that's how the screen's going to look. As I just said in the video, this is how we map out our screen sizes. So the guy was like, that doesn't work. So I took him a walk around the house. He left the room. You trolls don't learn, do you? Been doing this for over 12 years. Please, I can hang a screen without using a leveler. Oh, man. If you notice in any of the demonstrations where I ever build and design anything, I've never used a leveler. But they have my measurements dead on. Then again, like I said, I've been doing this for a while. If you cook, most people have to measure. You've been doing it for many, many years. People can measure by their hands because they can tell how much of ingredients and weight in the hand. They can tell. It's instinct. It comes from time, a lot of time. So I'm looking at this, and this is actually a tablecloth that I got off of Amazon. And we're just using it for visual effects, which we're going to be using it for. I have a way I'm going to build my frame where it's not going to cost me a lot of money. And it's going to be very easy to put together. And it's going to lay nice and flat. So this now, when I put this stuff together, it allows me to see exactly how I need to build. Just like when we were upstairs in the dedicated theater room. When it was all white and I was looking, I was like, we're going to turn this to a dedicated theater room, looking at the whole entire room, how we're going to build it, how we're going to put it together. And God's given me the blueprints, how to put the whole thing, how to design the floor. Was blessed to find that fellow to help me, show me how to lift the floor up and how to measure it. That's something else on its own. People understand that's a lot of freaking math in there. When you have to raise the floor, people say, oh, you're just raising the floor. No, it's a lot more than that. It has to be perfect. Like when you're sitting up there, you can't be too high, you can't be too low. You're going to be looking at some back of somebody's head. You have to be able to clear their head and hit the bottom of the screen at the same time. So for those of you who do not listen, in the not saying about people, but I got people who come in and make the dumbest comments on the face of the planet. They go, who wants to look at a floor? Do you know how much paint I sold this week for just the floor and ceiling alone? More than actually I sold for the wall, because they're using it for visual and digital effects, for advertising, to bring in more customers. Because they can put a projector and customers can walk around and watch fish move out the lobby floor, which is they love that. Or display off the ceiling. Which means when I show my technology this way, usually when you watch demonstrations with starlit ceilings, they're always in the dark. We do these demonstrations in fully lit environments with a lamp or ceiling lamp in the center of the screen. So that tells a person who has a business, hey, look, I can have in my lobby, I can have the lights on, where people can read magazines and they can watch a display off the ceiling at the same time. Something cool, because when kids come into a lobby or something, especially if it's a dentist office, where it may be, people are a little nervous. You look up and see that relaxes you right there. And it doesn't cost them thousands and thousands of dollars. I don't know what people have to understand. People, even when it comes with consumers or it comes with business, they do not want to spend the money for these overpriced, expensive projectors. They don't want to spend the money for overpriced screens, and they want screens that are going to work at the end of the day. There's no way in the world you're going to stick a gray screen paint up there. We wouldn't even advise you to put an LT gunmetal up there, no. Only screens that we advise, if you're using outside, if it's a really dark gunmetal, yeah. Other than that, black on the ceilings, black for visual effect, all that stuff, and definitely black for home theater. Because again, you're not picking up a black contrast level. I don't care how high you think your contrast is on your projector, you will never see a black level. Never see it. It doesn't exist. You're seeing darker shades of gray. That is all you're seeing. Do you have any idea? And projectors literally have to stop saying that. Black levels. You're not seeing black levels. You're nowhere close to seeing a black level. It's kind of like that whole theory with the whole pixel shifting technology. You really think you're seeing 4K, but your eyes are tricking you to make you think you're seeing 4K. There you go. That's what you're going through when you're watching a screen that can't produce a 100% contrast level. That's why we call it contrast shifting technology, because it allows the screen to be able to shift to a contrast level. But the screen is not producing black, it's producing darker shades of gray. These screens produce black. But that comes from the protocol nonsense. For a lot of these big companies and forum sites mislead you and tell you at the end of the day, you're seeing a black level. And then the hobbyists pick up the same nonsense and they do the same thing that the certified screens are doing. You're picking up a black level. No, you're not. You're picking up shades of gray. That's what you're seeing. So that's the NEC projector we just swapped out for the BenQ. We got the BenQ over here, sitting here on the sofa. Well, no, I'm sorry, my chair. It's mixed up. So anyway, what we're going to do is, well, how come I don't stick that in there? We don't have anything in there. That's not a bad idea. That would open up my living room a little bit. I'm trying to figure out where to put that leather chair at for the longest time, and I thought about it. It'd be nice to sit here because we got everything in black in here, except for the projectors. Now, when we get done building the screen, this is what we're going to do. As I told you before, we're going to put in a nice big screen, and we're going to put in a bookcase rack system, which we're going to build. See about that for the bottom, and it's going to have a little holster on the top that I can slide my projector into. So that way that looks more professional. At the bottom, we're going to put some glass doors, and we're going to have the screen connecting to the smaller case, and then I can put my sound bar behind the back there and cover it over. You won't even see it. All this is going to blend into one section. Section's done. We have to be upstairs. I think from now on, when I build my racks for my projectors, I'm going to make them open face. It's much easier to slap projectors back and forth. So I removed the piece off in the front. This makes it a lot easier. And then what I do is right here, I just basically build the pieces a little bit more wider so I can adjust them back and forth. Much easier to do my adjustments on there. All right. So I have a Sony Ultra Short Throw downstairs. It's actually already been coated with the black screen paint. I can set that right there in the middle of my floor. We're gonna have to, has to be recoated. I'm gonna have to recoat it. Yeah, because remember, that's the 38. No, the Sony's a 38. We'll figure it out. We gotta recoat on that anyway. I gotta upgrade. 39. So we got to recoat the projector. So the projector is going to be painted. So when we put the projector on the floor, the mini projector we're going to have over top that's going to hit the floor. It's going to blend in the projector and the floor all at the same time, so you don't see anything in there. That's how I'm going to set it up. That's just a visual room. Now, for those of you who've been asking the questions why, that is a visual room. That room is only designed not for movies. Because somebody was like, who's going to watch a movie off a floor? Again, you got to think outside the box. That's so close-minded. It's really close-minded. Apparently, these particular individuals don't scour YouTube and look at all the fascinating stuff that you can do with projectors today. You are still stuck in this old dinosaur traditional world because you have to project off a wall. You don't have to project off a wall. You can project off anything you want. That's the whole purpose. When you go back to my original company under Digital Crystal Screen Paint, you will see under my title to say, paint on anything you want. Because at that particular time, that's the era I can tell you came from, because in that era, you were only restricted to a wall and a wall only. But when you go back and look at our old demonstrations, you will see us painting on glass, in drywall, and just about everything else you can think of. So keep in mind that they use projectors for more than just walls. They use them for holograms. You know that. Now, mind you, I'm not talking to you guys because you guys know we're talking about the individuals who make the dumbest comments at the bottom and say, oh, who would project off the floor? You do know that the 3D mapping at Disney World or any kind of concert, holograms like with Tupac and if I'm saying his name correctly, someone correct me on that one, and Michael Jackson, they were all done with projectors. That's how they were done. All that technology you see with all this visual, digital effects and mapping and all that stuff is all done with projectors and a lot of software. So when you go in and you make comments by saying, who would watch off the floor? It tells me at the end of the day that your mind can only go but so far. That's it. You're limited. That's it. It's a shame because the human mind is a fascinating piece of machinery and some people want to use very little of it. And yes, it's a machine. All right, so we're hooking up in here. I always get that comment when I buy older projectors. The first thing they'll say is, what do you want that old thing for? You'd be surprised what I'm going to do with it. There's some pretty cool stuff with it. Now, I'm going to show you something. You guys are right up here in the front. See this stand we put together here? This stand has an adapter. Sometimes I don't put stuff in. I show you at the last one. I do apologize. But this fan has an adapter. This stand has an adapter where I can swing this out to fit the projector. The big one we had in here, I had to bring this all the way over. This one I can bring over here and I can get the stand to sit. There you go. So I make little pieces in there where I can shift stuff back and forth to fit different projectors. But what I'm saying is, think outside the box. This is why we make these screen paint products, to give you the ability to be able to convert whatever you want and to show you that it can do the same thing actually better than high performance screens. And you have a technology that you can basically turn anything you want into a projection screen at the end of the day. It's up to you on how far you use it. Now that one's all hooked up. Let's see, here's my switch with the screen already hanging up there for demonstrations. There we go. Come out of the gaming room. Sorry about bumping the stand, people. I do apologize. Onto the dedicated theater room. Now, I had somebody come into a forum site yesterday, and they said, you spent thousands of dollars. He literally said that in a comment. You spent thousands of dollars because he has a dedicated theater room. People spend all this money. Wait till they find out what my cost is to put this thing together. That's why we didn't spend thousands of dollars. This is my technology laying against the wall. But he thought it was $1,000 screen. So this is how we're mapping it out. So I told you have to build a stage first. This right here is not part of the screen. That is actually part of the stage right there. That piece of wood comes from here. See a little better here because everything here is in dark. And we have an extension piece that comes out because I wanted to make sure when I put the curtains in, I wanted the curtains to stand away from the screen. So see that bracket? That's just a support unit for right now. We're going to take another bracket. We're going to stick it there in the far back here. So that way when we take the screen, we can tuck it inside of here and it can sit inside of the stage. That's what I was putting together. Kind of hard to explain this as I'm talking about it. It's better if I build it and show it to you. So this is the bottom platform right here. That's going to connect here and connect here. The screen we have hanging is exactly the same size that I need to build for my frame to tuck it into the stage. So we're going to have a nice little lip that's going to come out here like so. It's going to have a nice little stand at the bottom. We're gonna have a decorated stand at the top right here, display here to cover that up with some gold tassel. And it's gonna be a little stage where my screen, I can pick it up and I can tuck it in. Now I was going to do an acoustic, but after seeing the 39, I'm getting the 39 technology put up here. So we're gonna do the same trick. We're gonna take the fabric, stretch it over a frame, hit it 2 times with the network grade 773. 4 more times, get it nice and stiff like a board, coat over top of it, and tuck it in and lock it in place. So we're going to be using heavy Velcro here and here, here and here, top and the bottom, and pop it in. That's it, we're done. And this will be all finished. I got to get a flat underneath this to be a light coming through here. And I'm measuring out my posters, my frames, so I need another one right there. The guy's going to show me how to put the LED lighting behind it and feed the LED lighting through to cover it up so you don't see any wires or anything hanging down. And then for the top area, we're going to design our own crown molding, which is going to be fairly easy to do. And we're going to be using this for decorating around that molding we're going to be designing. This crown molding right now is very expensive. They want too much money for it. We're going to make our own. It's going to look very fancy. So those pieces I have over there, I have to take the time to go downstairs, set up some paper, and I have to individually artwork those. So they're going to have some gold trim, stuff like that. So they have to be painted, stained, and everything to look real nice. Now, I have to come in here. I think I have the screws on me. I have to install the extension brackets so I can connect that piece right there. The floor came out nice, man. Better. I love how I can tell people sometimes when things don't work out, some people get upset and get angry about it. So let me explain to you how my world works when things don't work out. We have people from time to time that will send us phony orders. That doesn't bother me. And the reason why it doesn't bother me, because again, Lord blesses me to have what I need. When you do something like that, it comes back on you, not on me. My hand continues to stay blessed, so I don't worry about it. I don't chase money. I told you that. People say, well, how come he's not rich? Do you have any idea how many $1 million contracts have passed through my table? How many, oh my goodness, invites I got from companies and corporations for my technology. I even have, like I said, documentations that I can show you right off my computer from Seymour AV for NDA projects we're working on, even down to Diamond. Something that none of you guys can show. I even have demonstrations showing you that, I don't know why it's still there, but it's still there, of a Facebook page where we're doing contracts overseas in Europe on my screen paint, displaying my company's name. So yeah, I've had many opportunities to become a millionaire, many. And why didn't I take it? Because I didn't like the company I was working with. At the end of the day, I serve God. Do you understand me? And I don't serve money. I'm 53 years old. I've been around quite a bit. And I've had things and been places that some of you could only dream of. I had that ability, I had that capability to do it at that particular time. And I've seen things, I've learned from my experience in life that it's not a good thing to chase is money at the end of the day. You could lose your soul in money. and the company that you keep, you very well can maybe lose your life. So as you get older, you get smarter. You should be getting smarter as you get older, and you learn from experience. So the reason why companies can't buy me, the reason why I don't sell out, because if I did sell out, you have any idea how much my technology would be worth? At the end of the day, you would not be able to afford it. Those of you could, but most of you would not be able to afford it for what they have plans on if I do decide to ever sell out. Quite a lot of money. You're talking about a technology that can easily wipe out a certified screen and after being designed after 20 to 30 minutes. It can show results. The minute it comes out of a container, it can wipe out 4 or 3 to the best certified screens we have. It is fully ultra short throw compatible. It can pull images up at screen sizes of 250 inches or more, showing the screen can maintain, even when using a projector that is way below quality of most of these companies that they use at the end of the day. And if they're going to be outside on a 250-inch screen, I guarantee you it's not going to be a $270 720p Christie projector. I guarantee you that much. So the fact that my technology can work under these old projectors with no problem in environments that their screens can't even begin to even think of, yeah, it makes me the dominant screen. Now, the reason why I don't have a Lamborghini in my backyard or a front yard and other nonsense, because I refuse to do business with people that are not doing business by God's way. If you're cutting corners and you're doing this and doing that and you're lying in demonstrations, there is no way in the world I can walk on a set and look at a projector and say, you kidding me? Because this is going to be the argument for me today. This is what we're using? Oh, really? So does the customer know how much that thing costs at the end of the day? All right, we're using ambient controlled. Oh, no, we can't do that. No, I don't do that crap. There's going to be problems, a lot of problems. Not going to work. It's not going to work. When the right contract comes for me, I say a church contract is something I want. That's what at the end of the day, that's honestly what I want. I like church contracts. Get to work with the churches. I get to, on top of that, to get to spread the word of the Lord. What better place to be at? And of course, you're definitely going to have your wolves in sheep's clothing. You're definitely going to have that. That's the benefit of basically being a servant of God. We can see the stuff that you do. That's why, again, I don't get discouraged over stuff like that because my hand's always blessed. Unless God decides that he is not going to bless my hand anymore, then I'm not going to have it anymore. But until then, my faith is with him. I walk with him. And basically, everything I have is through him. I'm going to continue to be blessed. I'm going to continue to have the knowledge and to do all the cool stuff I like to do because he allows all this to be possible. Oh, and on that note, real quick to add in real quick, I came to my decision. I am not going to file a lawsuit against you. I'm going to give you an olive branch, Silent Walker 5, or what you call yourself, Walker 5. We're not going to put any more videos about asking you to get this, that, and the other. I'm quite aware you're embarrassed enough for what you just did on YouTube. So I decided to give you a second chance. I pray you do something better with it. I really do. Don't understand this. At any given time, the statute of limitations is for quite a bit. So I can come in at any given time. I can file a lawsuit against you if you decide to go carrying on again. So I would suggest you take that and do something positive with it. Because a lot of people gave me a second chances in life, including my Lord and Savior. It'd be wrong for me not to give you a second chance and not to forgive you for the stuff you have done. I'm not angry at Partey and Crow. It's sad that they act that way. It's sad that they carry themselves that way. You're running a business and you're carrying on like a bunch of little kids at the end of the day, posting memes and using people's copyrights. Just acting like a child at the end of the day, unprofessional. It's sad, but no, I don't go to sleep or wake up angry or upset. It doesn't bother me at all, period. I move on. I've been in the business for a long time. You got to have thick skin in this business and you can't let people get to you, you know? So I get up every morning and I do what I like to do, and I'm blessed to be able to make some money out of it and be able to give people amazing technology. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to deal with people, and everybody has to in business, that people are going to lie, commit fraud against your company to try to tear down what you have built because over sheer jealousy. And that's what it comes down to. So, no, I don't go to bed angry about them at all at the end of the day. Anything I have, I give to God. And remember, God is my protector. So remember, at the end of the day, I can't explain this enough. The very evil things that you tried to do to me end up backfiring right back at you. All right. Well, let's get back to this right here. Because I want to get that open. No, we're not going to file a lawsuit. I'm going to basically forgive him and move on. Now, if he decides that he wants to carry on and act up and he wants to continue down that road, then you have given me no choice and I'll have to file a lawsuit against you. So I suggest you take the opportunity that you have and do something positive with it. Like when I got out of being in lockup, I decided to make a choice while I was sitting in my jail cell by saying that, look, we can continue to go out and do business with the idiots that got us in this situation to begin with, or we can change our life and do something better. And it's right around my time when I was thinking in that cell, my mother came in and brought me in a Bible, and my life changed after that. Everybody deserves a second chance in life. And some people may say that, oh, you know, that's a sign of weakness. No, it's not a sign of weakness, man. I believe in giving everybody a second chance in life. Now, I've given Partey and Crow so many olive branches. It's not even funny, and they never learn. So these are people, unfortunately, will have to go to court and be sued. You can't see this because I gotta see this, and I can barely see this because the room is all dark. I really should have built this before I actually painted in the screen. I don't have to literally do lights. Well, that's a lesson learned. So you learn something new. Every time you're working on something, you always learn something new. So I learned something next time. I build one of these things. Make sure we paint the room last. No. We gotta paint the room first. What the heck? Oh, I just used to it. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm installing in those L brackets right there in the corner. I can't see it. I'm used to being in such a lighter environment. It's right there. I'm not worried about the plaster. I'll clean it up later, but we're installing them there and we're installing them there. So that way we can lift this piece of board up and fit that in place, and then I can get ready building my platform. So we're gonna put some nice decorative art. The same decorative art you see here that I'm gonna be putting around for the wooden trim, because I really do not want to spend the money for trim. Trim is so expensive now. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 2-inch wood strips, and we're going to design it like an L, like here, and here, like that. Actually, to tell you the truth, if I take the 2 inches, I can basically take the L brackets and I can extend them from the wall. That way we can put the lights flat. We can paint the inside of the wood strips bright white. So that way when the light reflects, it reflects off the wood strips, and we have light coming down and up at the same time, which would be really nice. And then we can put the decorative art around the wood strips. That's what we're going to do, the decorate to make it look nice. So we're going to put the wood strips in probably a solid black. And then we're going to do the trim and a kind of Metallica gold and kind of Metallica black to blend it in. But it's going to be a little bit lighter so it stands up from the actual black strip. But you won't see it because it's going to be all trimmed in. So I'm going to have to do that piece by piece. So this is how we're going to do our corner pieces like this. And this is how we're going to put the trim all the way across, all the way around. And that way, we're going to use the same lighting we have in the hallway, because that light's really bright, but also too, it has that dimmer on it where we can control the lights. So when the light comes out, it's going to hit the side of the wood trim. It's going to have 2 directions to go up or this way. We want some light coming out from the bottom, some light coming out from the top to get a nice soft glow in the environment. Because the overhead lights we're using right now are fantastic. But as I said before, we're only going to have it on if we're just showing up the room and the environment. But most of the time, that thing's going to be off. Okay, so let me put the rest of that in there. This one. Put the other one in. Hopefully. How we're gonna do this. This is gonna be interesting, real interesting. Yeah, because we're just one person. This is gonna be fun. I'll do it. Yeah, the joys doing things for yourself. Well, not really about myself, but one person. One day, I would invent a device for my cat to have posable thumbs. And then he can help me in some of the projects I'm working on. Because it's pretty, I can imagine that one. That'll turn out to be a nightmare. So my cat does not like to work, period. He's the laziest worker ever. He will never be here on time. Like, never be here on time. Like, where are you at? I gotta take care of some stuff. The missus, you know how it goes. I would have been here earlier, but I had some things I had to take care of that were really important. That'd be my cat at the end of the day, literally. All right. I'm gonna have to bring this out a little bit. You're not going on you. No. All right. Man, I'm telling you. All right, let me see. We are a little bit here. Make some adjustments in there. This is a little bit harder for what we're doing here. But don't worry about it. Let's see what we got now. Come on, be nice. Be nice. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, I just have to get that in the middle. That's just great, Butterfingers. Mr. Butterfingers. All right, that's better. That is better. All right, perfect. And there's one down, so right down there. So let me show you what we did here. I got another small screw in that one section over there. See that sticking out a little bit. There. Yeah, because that wall there is something else. It kind of weighs a little bit, but I figured a way how to get around it. All right, so now I'm going to stretch this, attach this down here, and that'll give you a better idea on how I'm putting all this together. Oh, man. Tell you, my chest is acting up a little bit because I just figured out in the backyard what I'm allergic to. So apparently the vines that grow against my gate don't bother me if I'm walking back and forth. Just can't be too close to them. And I found out the hard way. We're doing an inflatable screen yesterday. So we didn't do the inflatable screen yesterday. We didn't do anything yesterday because it rained. So we didn't do anything at all. What is it meant to be? That's how I see it. You understand? It's not meant to be. You know, you just get frustrated over it. It's not meant to be. If it's meant to be, God would have made it to be. Alright, how do you not get over here? Because I know you connect in there somewhere. What in the world? That doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't make any sense. That's a bit backwards. Alright. Let's see what's going on here. Because I know I installed this thing in here before. Oh, yeah, I forgot. It goes over this way. Do I have to be up here to put this in? I guess I don't. Alright, this is what I'm putting in right now. So, you can't see it because the room is crazy dark, right? So, there is a protector. Actually, it goes over this, and I had to paint it so it matched the room. So that's what I'm putting in right now. Okey-doke. So that's in there. That's done. So that is for the concession stand advertisement screen, which we're going to be setting up for advertising movie trailers and all that cool stuff. All right, people. I'm done here. This is where I got to call it quits. I'll see you later on today. Gotta go. Thank you all, and God bless.